So if you're just joining us, once again, today we are going to talk about taxes, how you can save money on taxes, because who doesn't want to do that? Actually, the first thing I'm going to talk about is something that I just thought is like kind of a no-brainer, and I just thought everybody was doing it, and I don't even talk about it much because I just thought everybody was doing it. But I get comments and people asking about this, and they're actually really shocked that you need this. And the most important thing for you to do is to keep your dump receipts. Yes, there are people out there that are not doing this. And it is so important to keep your dump receipts. That is one of your biggest write-offs. That right off the bat, that is money coming out of your pocket to take care of the items that you dispose of. It will not be your gross. So it's so important to keep your dump receipts and have all of that written off. So
something that we do is we get the dump receipt, we put it in the glove box, and every single month, the JoJo pulls them out of the glove box and organizes them and puts them away. So it's super easy to do.
Yeah, it's easy to do. And it is so important to do that. Like I would say, if you're doing junk removal, your dump receipts is the most important thing.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. And another thing you write, let's see, taxes are taxes are no joke. I can't wait until we overthrow a mafia government. Next level dumpsters. Thanks for the info. Jobs really slowed down with the cold weather. Great videos. Yeah, if you're living in an area where it snows and it gets super, super cold, you will definitely slow down because, people, they just kind of hibernate and they stay in and they're not doing their yard work. They're not moving. Typically, people don't really move in the winter. That's more of a spring and summer thing. So, yeah, you'll definitely notice that. Cleasy Junk Removal says, it's cold as hell in Atlanta right now. Turned my heat on for the first this season this past Saturday. We had a really cold November.
It was super damn cold out here.
Yeah, and so we've just been like really having that heater on. We're not as much anymore.
Now, here's another tax write-off for you. Your advertising, however you advertise, if that's business cards, if that's Craigslist ads, if that's Facebook boosts, if that's Google ads, that's a write-off.
It is a write-off, and I know for sure that it's 100% write-off. So when you advertise and you're spending money on advertisement, you will get that back.
And the crazy thing is, me and the JoJo, we only spent $600 and something this year so far on advertising.
Yeah, we added it up, and I was like, wow, we don't spend much on advertising because, and I'm sure that you've heard it. We've heard it. We talked till we're blue in the face about using all the free platforms, social media, and hit that really hard, and that will get your name out there and it will help you have an organic reach.
So if you want to buy some bandit signs, some door hangers, some flyers, keep in mind that's all a write-off.
It is. It's all a write-off. Anything. Some people are doing radio commercials.
And they're writing it off. Some people are getting billboards on the side of the freeway and they're writing it off. So there's so many different things you can do to advertise your business, and it's a write-off.
Yeah, like your shirt and your hat. That's a write-off.
That's a write-off right there. Check that out. It's a write-off.
It's a write-off. Not only is it something you work in, and it's a uniform that you and your employees or whoever is working with you is wearing it, so it's a uniform, but it's also advertisement. And it's definitely a write-off. Let's see, another thing, truck maintenance. Keep these receipts. I do the old school way. I just have them in envelopes. I put all the receipts in different envelopes, and we have a bookkeeper that itemizes it all. But, if you want to put everything that you do into QuickBooks, so it's on the computer, that works too. Do what works for you. The best thing, the only thing that we're saying is make sure that you're keeping track of what you are spending money on, because it's going to matter and it's going to count at the end of the year.
So if you get your brand new tires on your truck, your trailer, or maybe you go and get an oil change, that's all a write-off. So keep all your receipts like the JoJo said, or even like I had to get my tarp fixed, yesterday?
Yes.
And it's a write-off. So keep your receipts.
Keep
the
your
more
receipts.
receipts you have, the more stuff you have to write off, the more money you'll make and keep in your pocket.
Yeah. Oil changes. And, even taking the dump truck to like a car wash and washing
Is a
your
write-off.
car is a write-off. So all of those things, and they really add up. So let's say, it only was $25. So it was only $30. You save a few hundred things that are only $30. You're saving lots of money. We have Grayson that says, have you guys been able to reduce your tax to 0 yet? I would say we almost did that last year.
Last year, we pretty much only had to pay what? Barely
we
anything.
did one quarterly payment, and it was hardly anything. So what they did was they made it to where if you've been doing this for a while, you'll get these little, they look like receipts, but they're like these little check things that tell you quarterly exactly how much you're supposed to write your check for and send it in. And they give you our CPA actually gives us an envelope. He pre-does everything, and all we have to do is write a check, put it in there, and send it out. And I was like, we don't have to do it again. We didn't have to do it at all until the very last quarter. So yeah, we almost had it to 0.
I think it was like $700 we paid, and that was it so far.
That was it.
Which is crazy, which is a blessing, because you don't want to be hit not quarterly. Let them know about paying quarterly, JoJo, about having your CPA work it out to where you just pay quarterly and don't pay one lump sum.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, oh my gosh, I owe like $5 or $10 grand at the end of the year.
And we are telling you this from experience because it was our second year in business where we would have ended up really owing a whole lot of money. And that is when the CPA said, if you're thinking of getting a dump truck, you should do it right now, because you need a huge write-off or you're going to owe a lot of money. So, CPAs will really, really, really help you out. But yeah, a good CPA he'll look at last year's, and then he'll do a projection of the next year, and he'll let you know quarterly what you should pay so that you don't have that huge lump sum at the end of the year.
And that's the best way to do it. Make sure you're paying quarterly so you don't get hit at the end of the year all at once.
Okay, your insurance. Your insurance is a write-off. So definitely keep track of your what you pay for insurance, because yes, commercial insurance is expensive. It's expensive.
It's expensive as heck.
So it's going to be a big write-off. So these will all work in your favor.
So insurance, health insurance, it's a write-off.
Yep. And let's see, I have business meals. A lot of people don't realize it, but in our videos when it's lunchtime and we have Julio or it's Matt and I, and we go to lunch, we keep that receipt because that's a write-off, because it's happening during work and it's happening with your employees.
It doesn't matter if you're going to buy coffee in the morning, some energy drinks, whatever it is, it's a write-off. And I love this comment right here, JoJo. Are you for real? Are you for real? JC, is your wife single? Are you serious, dude? For real? What a comment.
He left it. He's left that a few times.
Yeah.
I just ignore it because I'm like, who asked that?
Because you're beautiful, JoJo.
Well, thank you. But no, I'm not.
So yeah, if you go out to eat, let's say on the weekend, and you're talking about business, and you're there maybe with a client or something, you take a client out, that's a write-off.
It is a write-off.
So save your receipts whenever you go out to eat, and it's business related.
Yeah, I would say you could go out to dinner and leave a business card, and all of a sudden it's a business meal.
As long as you're talking about the trash, it's all good.
Oh, that's funny. Does anyone know if those SEO companies work for advertising? We can't answer that because we've never we've done our own SEO. We really advise that you kind of watch videos and you learn how to kind of do that yourself on your website. Just try to learn that stuff on your own, because if you're paying somebody else to do your SEO, then you're not really knowing what's really, really working in your area. If you are the one that's doing it and you're changing things up and you're changing your wording around, you're putting up pictures, and all of a sudden your phone starts ringing and you're like, what did I do? That's right, I just updated my website and I added some pictures. Oh, I should do that again. I should make sure I do that again. You don't really know what is working if you're having somebody else do it for you, And plus, you don't even know really what they're doing for you. So there's so many people out there that can tell you and promise you the world and say, if you use me, I can increase your SEO and I can do this and I can do that. I've heard a lot of stories. I'm not saying there aren't people out there that can do that, but I've heard a lot of stories of people that paid somebody to do that and their phone still didn't ring. And when they called them and complained, they're like, well, it takes time. It seems like they have like this.
Say that again.
Oh, it takes time. You have to wait. It doesn't happen overnight. I'm just like, of course it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight if you do it yourself either. I remember when I did our first website and I didn't know what I was doing. I learned as I went. And I'm kind of competitive. Actually, I'm a lot competitive. And when I first did it, I looked the next day and I was like, we're on like page 5. Like, how do you get on page 1? I kept changing stuff and doing stuff. And it does take a little bit of time. But if you do it right, it doesn't take that much time. And then you just know what's working and what doesn't work. And then you know what to keep doing.
And be aware, when you first start this business, or maybe even right now, I still get at least 3 to 4 emails a week with someone saying, I can't find your website. It's not drawing much traffic. If you need my help, we can help you. I get emails all the time from people trying to get in my pocket. So don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. They're going to try to get your money. I'm just letting you know that. But if you do spend some money, remember, it's a write-off.
Somebody said, what's the average cost to hire a CPA? That's a good question. I've actually heard a couple horror stories where some CPA charged
like $3,000 or $4,000 or something like that.
I heard that and I was like, what are you talking about? No. So shop around because I would say ours, I don't think he's charged us more than $400.
Around $400 to $500.
Yeah, and he takes the time to itemize things, to tell you what you should spend more money on. He gives you tons of advice. We are going to be a corporation next year.
Yeah, a CPA is like a little junk angel from God.
Yeah, because
they help you out so much.
They look at you and you alone, and they'll say, "Oh, your business, you're great as a sole proprietor. You should stay that." Or LLC is what you should be, and this is how you do it, and this is why you should do it. Or an S Corp, and this is why this works for you, and that's why you should do it. So, super important. And once again, complete tax write-off. So, the average cost, I think we kind of answered that. So, if somebody's wanting to charge you a ton of money, find somebody else, because all they need to do is do your deductions and figure out your taxes. It's not.
And the best way to find one, I would say, is if you know someone that uses them and you know about the CPA, if they're good or not. It's a good way. We actually found ours from a realtor that uses our CPA. So we found him out that way. And now I looked up his Google reviews, and he had great reviews online.
Yeah, so if you're having a hard time finding somebody, find some businesses that you look up to, or business people that are doing well, and just ask them who they use and why do they use that person, and get some.
And that might be another junk hauler in your area. You never know.
Staying out of that.
What happened?
Okay, so next. Another thing. Oh, contributions to your IRA. So, if you are self-employed, right, you have your own business, so you're going to be responsible for your retirement. So every year you should be putting money into an IRA. And a CPA will actually help you do that too. They'll kind of tell you how much you should put in there. And if you should, max it every year. And it's important because you're paying your future self. It's also important because it's money that goes out before your taxes are calculated. So it's important.
It's real important. I put $6,000 in there every single year. $6,000.
Yeah. And it grows.
It does grow.
It grows. So that's an important thing to do. And I don't know if you are aware of this, but you can actually write off a room in your house. You can say that you use that as your office space. That's where you keep your receipts. That's where you handle business, and you can write off your room. So, part of your mortgage, they'll, actually a CPA or a bookkeeper can help you kind of calculate that.
You gotta measure the room and do all that, and then you can write part of it off.
It's it's a portion of what you pay for your mortgage that you can write off. That's something that some people don't realize you can do that.
And we had no idea back in the day that we can do that.
No, we didn't. These are all things that we've learned recently since owning a home. Yeah. Yep. And the other things is, let's say maybe you're paying for a place to park your truck.
That's a write-off.
It is. It's a write-off. Some people don't have room at their house or home. We lived in an apartment. We didn't have a room, but we parked it on the street and we just kept moving it. You do what is, can you write off your CPA? Oh yeah, we answered that already.
Yes, you can.
Yep. Anything you spend for your business, a legitimate expense for your business, you can write off. And you can definitely write off a CPA. You can also write off a bookkeeper. You don't have to have a bookkeeper, but I find it very easy to put receipts in different envelopes, and then I just hand them to the bookkeeper to itemize. And she actually knows our CPA and works with our CPA, and she just emails all of those over to him, so he has all the numbers he needs to crunch. It's a really good team. It's good to have a good team. What's the best commercial insurance? Do we know that?
I would check with Progressive. They're most likely going to be the cheapest, but you can also get hold of an insurance broker in your area and find out who you're going through. But make sure you check and see how much your deductible is going to be. But I would check with Progressive for sure.
Mm-hmm. We have Desert Brothers Junk Removal saying, sorry he's late. He's from Arizona.
Right on. What's up?
We're glad that you joined us. What took you guys so long to go court if you make at least $1,000 a day? Oh, it doesn't really matter how much money you're making to be a sole proprietor. You have millionaire sole proprietors out there. It doesn't have anything to do with how much money you're making. Once we really started generating assets, like a home,
Because keep in mind, me and the JoJo, we didn't have nothing 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
We had 2 cars and we were renting an apartment, so we didn't have much stuff back in the day.
Yeah, we didn't have anything, and I don't know if any of you are like us or where we used to be, but we didn't have. When we first moved into our apartment together, everything we owned fit in our car. We didn't have a couch. We sat on the floor. We didn't have a bed. A bed was like one of the first things we got. We just didn't have anything. And we didn't have money. And we didn't know what to do with money. And just because you start a business and you start making money doesn't mean you know what you're doing with money. So, we share with you what we learn because we've learned as we go. as we go. So we decided to switch to a corporation once we bought our home and we had assets, because it's really important when you start having assets to separate your business from your assets in case you got sued or anything happens. Then a person can't come after you and everything you own in your house and everything. So it's kind of separated. And so we decided that it was time to separate ourselves from the business. That's why we decided to do it.
And that's that fire right there, JoJo. Damn.
Yeah. Would switching to an S corp be able to keep my child support down? I don't know much about child support, Grayson. I know that you've asked a few questions about that. I'll keep all my money in the business and pay myself via payroll a small amount. So when you are in S, I don't know anything about child support and the laws and stuff, so I'm not even going to touch that. But the other question of S corp is, yes, if you are an S corp, you pay yourself a salary, and you kind of have to give yourself a reasonable wage, right? That you would, if you were going to hire somebody to take your job, do what you do, what would you pay them to do? And then that's what you would pay yourself. And then as far as your profits and distribution and taking out distributions and putting that in the bank, I have no idea what they do as far as that being your business, money you're making, and child support. I don't know anything about that.
So another write-off is gas receipts. You can either do gas receipts or you can write off per mile. And I do believe it's 50 cents per mile, or you can do gas receipts. You can do one or the other. So make sure you're either writing down your miles that you're driving around and bidding jobs and doing jobs, or save your gas receipts for a write-off.
Yeah.
And that stuff will add up real fast.
And we all know how expensive and crazy gas was.
It's still crazy, JoJo.
So it's probably a really good idea to keep your gas receipts.
I just came back from Arizona and it was like $3 a gallon. Then we hit California, it's $4.60 to $5 a gallon, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Cleasy says QuickBooks Online is expensive. I might see if there are any other services invoice programs. Yeah, you could. I know people that use QuickBooks. I don't use QuickBooks. Like I said, I just put everything in an envelope and give it to a bookkeeper. And she's actually extremely reasonable.
Super cheap. It's around $140 every, 3 to 6 months,
something like that. It's really reasonable, and she itemizes everything for us. So I don't just give her everything in a bag and have her have to go through them. When she gets it, it's all the gas receipts are all together in an envelope, all the dump receipts are all together, and I actually have them kind of in order as far as the months and stuff. So that's how we do it, so I don't have to deal with QuickBooks. And then if you do choose a bookkeeper that does all that for you, a good thing to have them do is to just every couple months make sure you get a profit and loss statement so you know what's going in and coming out. So you're not just in the dark and having some bookkeeper do it for you and you don't know how much money you're making and how much money's going out.
So here's another write-off. Your phone bill every single month is a write-off. And also, your internet service is a write-off too.
Yeah, those things, because you're using those things. You're using those things to do your Google My Business, your YouTube if you're doing a YouTube channel with junk removal, or anything social media. You are definitely using your phone and you're using internet every day that you're doing your business. So that's definitely a write-off. Let's see. Junk 180 says Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
So Grayson says you're right about doing your own SEO. I started a junk removal company about 3 weeks ago. Oh, well, congratulations. And set it up well, SEO wise. and I came up number 1 on Google in my town. I'm beating companies with 165-star reviews because of SEO. That's really good. That's good. I don't know. Did you learn anything from our channel as we're talking about backlinks and every time you post on social media, doing that? And is your junk removal name kind of town related somehow? I'm curious what you did that made your SEO so great, because that's just awesome. I'm really glad that you did that on your own and that is working for you. I'm still laughing about question asked earlier. Is your wife single?
Is your wife single?
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
That's a funny question. Isn't that funny?
You should come ask me in person.
Let's see. Looking for more questions.
So here's another write-off. Junk 180 did what, a chili cook-off thing, and they put their banner on their stand thing, and it was a write-off.
Yes. And we're kind of thinking of doing something like that. I think it'd be really fun. So I
got an idea. I'm gonna go to Costco, buy some chili that we can get there.
Good chili.
Pre-made chili there, and then put it inside the pot.
And then
get our hustle on, JoJo, and try to win that thing.
I think my chili's better than Costco chili. Oh, that could be happening. That he thinks it might be that you're in the nearby and it's popping up because you're close to you. I kind of thought ours was doing that. When we first started, I was like, maybe it's just doing that. It's always number 1. But, who knows? But if it's popping up, so that's a good thing. Rib cook-off.
It was a rib cook-off, you're right.
Slap your name on everything. Yes, and it's a write-off. Because we're talking about tax write-offs. And so anything that you're doing is advertising-wise, anything that helps get your name out there, that's a tax write-off. And Junk 180, he entered a rib cook-off. So everything he grabbed for ingredients for the rib cook-off, I'm sure was a tax write-off. His booth would be a tax write-off. I'm sure his business cards were laying everywhere, and it's, We
actually went to a crab feed in Benicia, California. It was off the hook. It was great. And they actually had some raffle stuff. They were giving away some gifts. And he had a bunch of stuff, I remember, T-shirts and stuff like that with Junk 180 on it in the raffles, and that's a write-off. Yeah. It's genius.
And on the same thing is we have On Call Dumpsters. He says, we sponsor Little League softball, baseball, youth soccer team. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. Number 1, you're helping your local Little League, getting kids out there playing ball. That's awesome. And number 2, on the back of the kids' shirts is going to be his, company name. And not only that, it's a write-off. And we also have our friend Josh. What's his junk removal name?
JM Removers.
And he does something similar, but he puts the logo on the soccer balls.
It's not him doing the soccer balls, someone else.
Oh,
but he actually gave a gift card away.
Yeah. I do. Okay. I just remember walking and talking with him and him saying that. But anyhow,
I could be wrong though. JoJo's okay. Most of the time right.
It's okay.
I'm 2% right.
Whoever it was that was doing it is genius. It's all over, it's on the shirts, it's on the ball. So, and it's a write-off. So, and it's, that's really good because we're talking about write-offs and things that you can do that are not only fun, but gets your name out there in the community, and it's also a write-off.
Now, something else you can do that we do every Christmas is that JoJo puts these little, Christmas baskets together with a bunch of, nice candy, maybe a bottle of wine, and we give them away to, our best clients, our favorite realtors, our property managers, even sometimes the people at the dumps. And It's a write-off.
Yeah, it's a write-off. And they love it and appreciate it. So you pull up at the dump, and then, just give them a basket. They love it. They're in their little booth all day long, and I just stick, candies and truffles and stuff like that. But you keep your receipts; they're all write-offs, and sometimes we'll even include, especially somebody that's like gets a lot of phone calls and they just refer us all the time. We'll give them a gift card, and you give people gift cards, keep the receipt because it's a legitimate write-off. You're giving, a client or, just...
You're spreading the love and you're writing it off.
That's
the
what
best
you're
way
doing.
to say it.
It's so true. Give gift cards for Christmas.
Now, something else that's a write-off too, whenever you use your card, your transaction fees are a write-off. So the next time you slide your card and you're worried about it, I got to pay my transaction fee. It's all good. Charge the customer right and write the transaction fee off. It's no big deal.
The transaction fee is a write-off. That is for sure. I'm going to read. Grayson says, I have the #1 rated landscape company in my town. That's awesome. Clients wanted me to remove fences, etc. So that's why I did the junk removal. I also put in 60 plus hours on YouTube learning SEO. It was a bit, but worth it. Yep, it is. I mean, you can learn anything on YouTube. Look, you're learning what you can write off in taxes on YouTube right now. You've learned junk removal on YouTube. And Grayson is a perfect example of taking something he was doing and implementing junk removal into it, making a whole other service that he can offer. That's great. You have a really good open mind. I like that a lot. It's the nearby page. I just learned to build my own website. Okay, he's answering. Big up and real hustlers that are hungry. Yeah. That's what we did. We didn't even realize what we were doing, but we were just we weren't gonna pay a lot of money doing it, but we were getting our name out there. And we got us on Nextdoor, on YouTube. We started YouTube just for the commercial of it, just to get our name out there.
Yeah, we had no idea.
Yeah.
It was all for advertising. We had no idea people would actually want to watch us pick up trash all day.
And then we did Facebook and Instagram, and every time we posted on Facebook, we put the link to our website. We always put the link to our website. In the description of all our YouTube videos is the link to our website. And so many people have gone from like YouTube and Facebook to our website to see what our website looked like, that just organically made our, website reach huge.
And remember, your website is a write-off.
It is.
Any tools that you buy for the jobs you're going to go do, maybe a shovel, a broom, some contractor bags, some new blades, some tools, that's all write-off too.
All write-offs. Marketing. Let's see.
I'm really impressed with everyone building their own website, JoJo.
Yeah, I love that. I just think if you don't know how to do something, you should really just teach yourself how to do it. We live in a day and time where there isn't anything you can't learn. You can really learn anything if you put your mind to it. Have you added junk removal to your business and it's probably not your SEO, it's just you have other services? Okay. Well, Grayson, I think you did a great job on your SEO. So sometimes you just, you did a great job. Learning workshops. Anytime you go somewhere, pay money to learn to be better at your trade is a write-off. And we have a channel membership, and if you've joined it, figure out how much you've spent on it, because that's tax write-off. It is a tax write-off. You're learning how to do your job better, and you can write that off for sure.
Or maybe you flew out to North Carolina, you paid for that airplane ticket, you paid for that hotel room,
for JunkCon.
You paid for the JunkCon event. That's all write-off.
It's all a write-off.
The hotel room, the rental car, the event ticket, your meals when you're out there is all a write-off.
It is all a write-off. And I actually wanted to welcome, we had a few new channel members, and I just wanted to welcome TJ Meredith and Rob Lowe and Anthony Frost. Welcome to the channel membership. And if you're listening, it's a tax write-off.
It's a tax write-off. I like how the JoJo said that.
Let's see. I own Muscle Man Dumpster Rentals from Arizona, and this information is golden. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're finding it helpful. And if we've missed anything so far and you just know it's a tax write-off and we didn't mention it, throw it into chat, because we're here to learn from one another.
And hopefully you have a paper and a pen and you wrote a bunch of this stuff down. And if not, rewind the video and watch it again and write this stuff down. And hopefully you save a bunch of money. I know back in the day when we started this business and we were watching YouTube videos, I wish there was a junk removal video like this one right here, JoJo.
Yeah, there was. We knew some things were write-offs. And we did that from the very beginning. But there were so many other things that we just didn't realize, like how important it would be to save the receipts for certain things. And, to be honest with you, had no idea how much money we were going to make with junk removal. I really had no idea. So because when we first started, we just wanted to make a little extra money. So we weren't expecting to make lots of money. So we weren't expecting to owe a lot in taxes.
So it really don't matter how much money you make. It all counts on how much money you keep at the end of the year in your pocket. So it's real important to get these write-offs, get a CPA, a bookkeeper, and be smart with your money and have good habits. And just don't spend that money on stupid stuff like big rims, Jordans, gold chains.
We're in a stage in our life where we're stacking.
We're stacking money.
We're interested in stacking money and building for our future and retirement. Maybe getting another property and having a rental. We're interested more in just building. This year actually is just going to be a year of building and growth.
So 2023, I already told the JoJo, I told the Julio. Julio's going to be working full time. We're going to go harder than we ever did. So 2023 is going to be Sonoma Strong Hauling's year, JoJo, and I have no doubt about it. We're going to advertise like crazy. We're going to meet so many property managers, realtors, so many repeat customers, get reviews, and get money. I have no doubt about it. I'm going to pray about it, and we're going to make it happen, JoJo.
Yeah, it's going to be, and we'll take you guys along with us. We're going to, there's a few things that are going to be a little bit different this year. We're definitely gonna grow.
Definitely gonna grow.
Yeah.
And JoJo, we got a great job tomorrow, don't we? For one of our clients.
All the mattresses?
All the mattresses.
We have so many
mattresses. We have
mattresses.
30 mattresses to pick up tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's super close to the house, too.
It's right down the street.
Don't tell them where it's at, JoJo. You know some of the competitors are out there watching.
Everybody knows where we live.
Yeah, they know.
So Grayson says, are you guys planning on doing a mentorship program? So I'm not sure if you're aware, but we have a channel membership, and it's very inexpensive. It's like $10 a month. There's lots of videos on there that go in depth on kind of like how we advertise, how we do our Facebook boosts, certain keywords we make sure we use in Google My Business, exactly what we say word for word when we walk into a realtor's office, what we say, what we bring, what we do, and the script word for word that comes out of our mouth when we walk into the realtor's office. There's also some videos where we really talk about behind the scenes at the job. We'll walk around, we'll show you how big the job is, we'll tell you how many loads we think it's going to be, and we'll tell you exactly what we charge and why we charged that. So you may find that to be very helpful. And as part of the membership, we do have people that often call Matthew and ask for questions one-on-one. And we'll also, if members are interested in this, I really would like to do a Zoom. So I would like for Zoom meetings to be part of the channel membership. So I would have to get like email addresses to be able to implement that, but I just think that would be a great thing. So yeah, you asked if we offer a mentorship, and that is what we have right now. So, feel free to look more into that if you would like, because he's always looking to learn and listen. And I can tell that you are like that because you did your own SEO and you learned how to do that. So I think that's pretty cool. Junk 180's talking about vehicles. Makes sense. Yeah.
So something else you guys should do too is you watch our channel, make sure you check out Junk 180's channel. He has a bunch of good information on his YouTube channel. Go over there, subscribe, and check his channel out. He has a bunch of good information on there. Mm-hmm. And he's from the Bay Area too.
Yeah. So Grayson does say, do you guys have any advice on hiring employees? I would have to say that's, aside from learning how to price junk removal, which is absolutely your first hurdle when starting this business, because it's not a one size fits all, depending on where you live and how much your dump fees are and what the job entails and how far you have to travel and what they're wanting to get rid of. There's so many things to factor into what should you charge that is fair to the customer but puts good money in your pocket. So how to price junk removal, very first hurdle. And then after you grow big and it's time, hiring a good employee is your next biggest hurdle for sure.
And if you want to keep a good employee, take care of them. Treat them like family. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, you want to find
people that's going to be there for long term.
So Grayson, you're really good at researching. So one of the things that I would do, because I kind of did this and I found some good stuff. I went online and I typed in like junk removal employees or something, and I found actually JRA had a good video on that. He had a good video on that, so you can look up JRA employees, and he kind of gives you like kind of a screening process that I thought was really smart. And because it's hard, junk removal is not for everybody. And some people will be like, oh yeah, I could do it. And then it's a person that's got to not mind to get like, down and dirty, because some of the jobs are they're just dirty. And you want somebody that's not afraid to like tackle the hard stuff. And there's other things that don't even have to do with work itself. But if you're going to be spending day in and day out with somebody, number one, you want them positive. You want to be around a positive person that has a really good go-getter mentality. You don't want somebody that's moping around and doesn't seem, and they're just there for the money, because that's not going to mesh well. I need to work with somebody that's like, hey, let's go do this. Let's go do this. And I look at a job and I'm like, oh, it's messy. Yeah, it's messy, but it won't take long to do. Let's just do it. We'll put our gloves on. We'll get, it's hard. It's hard to find those people that are just like, they're there, they're on time, they're wanting your business to grow. And when you find those type of workers, you want to keep them. But one thing I learned from JRA that I really thought was a great idea is he did like a trial run. So, well, I'm gonna hire you and I'm gonna try you out for a month. I'm gonna see how you roll, and just really watch them and kind of see. Is this somebody I can like really work with? Not only like you want somebody that's going to get the job done, and be in there and use their brain and be able to do Tetris and really look at the surroundings and make sure that they're not going to damage people's property. Like, you really have to have forethought. One of the things I do when we first show up to a job is I'll look around. I'll see where windows are. I'll see where things are, and I'll make sure that when we're like handing things over, and we're moving junk and stuff that we're not like accidentally breaking a window or a car. There's so many things to think about, but I think a trial run is really important.
And you want to find someone that cares about your business, someone that shows up, smiles, wants to work, might have a couple kids they got to take care of, and they're reliable and they care about your business is one of the most important things, I would say.
Yeah, and so paying them well is really important, but I also think incentives are really, really good. So, like, what's important to you? Are 5-star reviews really important to you? Because let's say you have a worker and that worker's on his own now, and he's going and he's doing the jobs. Like, why not give them like a little bit of money or some sort of reward for every 5-star review he pulls in?
Or maybe they bring in $2,000 that day. Maybe you want to give them a little bonus every time they do that.
Yeah.
And it'll make them want to work harder. And it's a great idea, JoJo.
Yeah. And Cleese says, it's great news about the Julio going full time with you all. Woohoo! Yeah, that's one of the things that we're doing this year is he will be a full-time employee, which is exciting. It's exciting for us.
Some will see the Julio 355 days out the year. And guess what? The Julio's a great dude. He's always smiling. He's always positive. And every time we show up to a job and it's a job from hell, he looks at me like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So it's really genuine. So when you watch the videos and you see he's always smiling.
He's always smiling.
That's the real him. And that's one of the selling points is he's never a downer. Like, never a downer. Always positive, always smiling, always does exactly what you ask him to do with that big smile on his face. And, that's priceless. And Simply Something Different says, like, should I be cheaper than my competitors or low? That's the same question.
I guess you could be cheaper and lower if you want. Or maybe you could be lower and cheaper. I'm not sure what you mean by that, JoJo.
I think you meant higher. I'm just being funny. So don't lowball yourself. And it's really, really hard to do when you first start junk removal. Everybody that starts junk removal is a little too cheap.
I was hella too cheap back in the day.
Everybody that starts is a little too cheap. Once you really start doing the work and it's grunt work and you realize that it's not super easy all the time, you will raise those prices. You will start charging what you're worth. When you first start, you're excited. Your phone rung. You're excited. You got your first job. And
I got this dirt job coming up right now.
Oh, God.
We got 4 yards of concrete and it's in the backyard. We're going to go tackle this. So.
We did a dirt job. It was a dirt job from hell, and we got paid hardly nothing. And we didn't have a dump button.
And guess what? He calls back like a month later for some more dirt.
Yeah, we don't do dirt.
We don't do dirt. We don't do rock. We don't do roofing materials.
So what I suggest simply is call around, see what the going rate is in your area. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Junk King. Just kind of Google it. Call people in your area. See what they're charging. Try to get a per cubic yard. See what they're charging for that. And just be in that ballpark. Don't undercut. You don't want to be super low, undercut your competition. You don't want to do that. And you don't want to be so high that your competition's really appealing to your client. You just want to be in there.
And if you're from out of state and you're a subscriber and you call me with that redneck accent and you ask me, hey, what do you got to charge for a garage clean out? What city are you from? And you hang up on me? Trust me, I know you're a subscriber watching the channel wanting to figure out the prices. All you got to do is just ask me, hey, I'm a subscriber. What would you charge for this?
Yeah, we actually don't mind helping subscribers, and we just really appreciate honesty. When you call, just say, hey, I'm from, let us know what state, and I've been watching your videos. And I
said, what city are you located in? He hung up hella fast.
Yeah, and if we call called him back, and he didn't answer, and we left a message. But it was, I'm like, we got to let him know. Like, so we kind of think you're probably a subscriber. Watch the videos. If you have a question, you can call us back and ask us. He never called us back.
It's all good. We're not stressing it.
Yeah, just, you could call, we're not, like, super knowledgeable about what things cost in other states, but we can give you, like, just rough advice on how we would tackle it.
So make sure you guys smash that like button. We've been on for 55 minutes. And JoJo, you want to read this off one more time?
Well, I think, the gift baskets. That's one of the things I was going to say. We do have a video on how we put together the gift baskets and little things that we put in there. So you could probably just, like, I like to call Matt with the classic prank call lines. Was that you?
Was that you?
Was that you?
I knew it.
Does your website have monthly costs? We actually pay for the whole year, and that is that's a write-off in itself.
So Junk 180, I'll be in Vallejo tomorrow at the dumps. I never travel out there, but maybe I'll see you or one of your guys there. Hopefully we do. And we're going to try that taco truck out there too, JoJo. Out there in Vallejo.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, we're going to try it out.
Oh.
Todd said it's off the hook, so we'll find out.
Hold on. Somebody says, thank you for the advice. Yes, customer service and 5-star reviews are a major priority for me. Yeah, then hopefully you're getting the 5-star reviews, because that's really going to help your SEO. Maybe if you've been watching videos, how we do that. But Matthew has our Google My Business link on his notes on his phone. So when we are leaving a customer and we know that customer is super happy with us, and we'll say, hey, would you mind leaving us a review? It's how we get a lot of business. And they say, yeah. As soon as we hop in the car, we just send it. We don't even drive away yet. We just hit, we copy, paste, center. And your chances of getting a review are much better if, the customer says yes and you send the link right away.
Actually, that's the way I used to do it. Now we use Workies and it's automatic. I just hop in the car and push send.
Yeah, well, Workies makes it easier. So
Workies does, JoJo.
It does. And if you don't use Workies, you should look into it, because they're it's a great company. Yeah.
And I hope you guys seen that Raider game. I can't believe it, JoJo. I'm a Raider fan and they won. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And the Niners are looking super good this year. I got a feeling, JoJo, they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. And I'm a Raider fan. But anyways, JoJo, we can't be on here much more longer.
I know. I'm actually going to end with Grayson. He's been great. You're like, Grayson, you're the
you the shit.
You're just a person that's really, really awesome. He says that you will be amazed what the universe will give you if you have the courage to believe and ask. And I'm a full believer in that. I'm a full believer in manifesting things and knowing that good things are going to happen and come your way, and then they just will. They just will. They absolutely will, all the time.
And that's how the JoJo got me. And by saying that,
manifesting.
we love all. You want a young, sexy Italian stud. Daddy deep pockets. Actually, I was broke when I met the JoJo. I was frying chicken at Safeway.
He sent me Matt.
He sent me whatever. Anyways, we love all you guys, and leave a comment down below. What kind of videos do you guys want to see? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, we need more ideas for videos for sure. Ephraim says, Merry Christmas.
And Junk 180 said, I knew you were going to Vallejo with 30 mattresses. You figured that. Yep. We'll be out there tomorrow.
We've never moved a waterbed, but Trash Talkers have, and I think they still have video up.
Yeah, they do. They put a hose to it and
they drained it. So look up Trash Talkers on YouTube and maybe Waterbed Trash Talkers and see if it pops up, because they did it.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't do what Todd did from Three Kings. He slid a hole in that bad boy, and guess what? It
Can you
started
imagine what would
flooding
happen if you
downstairs.
flashed a waterbed?
So yeah. Anyways, I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
It's Monday Night Football time, Joe. Joe, you ready or what?
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another Monday. And I'd like to do this again before Christmas.
So maybe we'll go live Thursday or maybe even Christmas. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
So hopefully you guys like this video and yeah, catch you on the next one.
Bye.